Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cloud the Tank once again. I decided to make another. I decided to make this video on my Rock-ola GP160 model 432. In one of my older videos, I explained that when I was actually working on this jukebox, that I changed the photo cartridge in here to a Shure cartridge, which is model SC35C, which actually worked out pretty good for this thing, but I wanted to try to get this a little bit better, but I managed to find a cartridge that is a whole lot better, and like I showed in my previous video, that I changed the cartridge in that 443 in a different location, so... Sorry about that, the phone was ringing. Yeah, so, I wanted to get a different cartridge to this thing, so I went and ordered the same cartridge that I put into the 443 jukebox. And, I'll show you the box that it came in. I went back to the cartridge, which is a flipped needle type. So, as you can see, that's what it's at right now, so I know it's kind of in the dark. But this is basically kind of be like a review on this. I can't really say the name of it because it's just too hard for me to pronounce. But it's the model P-132D. It is a flip type cartridge. This is the replacements. This is the stuff that this thing replaces. So. And this is the, this jukebox actually had a cartridge for it. I still had the original cartridge for it. I just got it buried upstairs. But, right there, you can see right there in the case is the Shure SC35C cartridge that I originally had in here. It worked good and it ran on the right grams for this tone arm, because these tone arms on these old jukeboxes are actually heavy. But, but for this cartridge here, I actually quite enjoy this thing, and it's awesome. The records do sound like a little bit more noisier with this thing, so let me turn this around for you. Yeah, the records do sound a little bit more noisier, but I guess if you have some pretty clean records, I guess it actually should be pretty good. And with this cartridge right here, I'll be able to play like newer records instead of some of these older ones. And for some reason, not all these records seem to be recorded at the same volume. Like, there's some records that are like on the cheap side that basically come from like a low-end fucking recording studio or something like that, and the sound quality is just absolutely horrendous. It's not that the recording of the music is bad, it's just they record it way too low. So I don't know what's up with these people when they did this, but you can even experience that nowadays where you hear some music that's louder than others. And you'll probably notice that a lot, especially if you download it from like Amazon, iTunes, or some other music sites. So you can see I do have the screws sticking up on this thing right here. So I went and drilled holes in this because I didn't feel like peeling this thing off completely, even though this part right here is already coming off. So I didn't want to mess with it. So I just said heck with it, drill holes, and just put these screws in here. The cartridge didn't have any screws that come with it, so I just put in the new screws that I had that came with the Shure's cartridge here. So, but I'll show this thing. See, that's the cartridge itself that's installed. It's basically about the same as the original, but it's got a lot more better magnification to it. To me personally, it actually works a whole lot better than the Shure's cartridge. So, so if you have a Rock-ola jukebox that still has a flip needle cartridge installed, which I'm thinking it's going to be like between like the mid 70s to the late 60s, which this is about what this is, about the 60s, has a stereo amplifier. I would definitely recommend getting one of these if you can. So these things are awesome. Absolutely awesome. I just love this thing. I bought it from eBay. It was like $20 for like $4 shipping or something like that. But it's definitely worth its price, and I really love this thing. So, and I always keep the cartridge flipped on LP with the orange little dot, since both sides say LP on it, but that little orange, I guess, is for like 45 and 33 RPM records. So I would definitely recommend just keep it on that side. So it is, like I said, it is a very awesome cartridge, and this thing really brings out the amplification of the amplifier. Because when I put the Shure cartridge in there, I think it actually needs more juice, and this amplifier just cannot produce enough juice to magnify what the cartridge is picking up. So I went to this thing here, and I had to turn this jukebox way down because it just darn near blew my ears out, just like the 443 did. So I barely have to crank this thing up just a little bit on the volume control, and it's just loud enough for me. And I'll give you a brief demonstration of it. When I'll choose an off-brand country that I have in here. So, yeah. I'm going to go with U4, Walking on New Grass, which is actually a pretty good song. So we're going ahead and go to U and type in 4, and I'll let you listen to this. Well, for some reason my switches are starting to go bad on this darn thing. I don't know what's up with this, so hang on a sec. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Well, if anybody actually knows how to take apart a limit switch and actually know how to repair these things, can someone actually let me know on that? Because I'm not sure if you can actually repair these things or not.
I'm like a cloud drifting from town to town. Each new love just helps me on my way. No one woman's ever gonna tie me down. When one gets too close, I just back up and say, and I gotta be walking on new grass, singing a new song. Tomorrow there's no telling where I'll be, but I'll be walking on new grass, singing a new song. The next town up the road keeps calling me. I'm warning you, don't fall in love with me. I don't plan on being here too long. You're just a leaf caught in a playful breeze. I'll carry you a while, then I'll be moving on. And I gotta be walking on new grass, singing a new song. Tomorrow there's no telling where I'll be, but I'll be walking on new grass, singing a new song. The next town up the road keeps calling me. I don't take routes, I never stay that long, and the backseat just won't go anyway. This rolling stone don't wanna gather no moss. So when the grass starts to grow, then I'll be on my way. Yes, and I'll be walking on new grass, singing a new song. Tomorrow there's no telling where I'll be, but I'll be walking on new grass, singing a new song. The next town up the road keeps calling me.
Yeah, as you can probably hear that this thing is definitely a whole lot louder, and I actually really enjoy it too. I was actually really happy and impressed on how good this cartridge is, and how it definitely improves the old aesthetic cartridge that was actually in here originally. So, and better than that Shure cartridge that used a little bit more juice. So it might work better with like a new jukebox like this, for example, the Roll jukebox I have here. So, but yeah, if you have one of these jukeboxes, like I said, between the 60s and maybe the mid 70s, and it has a flip type cartridge on it, I would definitely recommend actually getting this if you want to change it or update it. So that way you can actually get a whole lot better sound, better quality, and also be able to find out to see if your speakers can actually handle it. So for something like this thing here, like this speaker here, this one is still original. It needs to be reconed though, because its cone cannot handle the bass response that this thing has. Because since I put this thing in here, the bass response has increased dramatically. That other one just mostly had like a temp to it, so I barely had any bass whatsoever out of it. So, and I think I need to redo the old speaker that's in here as well, which is this one right here, which is the only one, which is the other one that has not been reconed. So, I did have an original speaker in this corner here, but I took it out. I got a different one in here, so I put like a car stereo speaker in here. So one you put in the automobile, but I had to do a lot of modifications just to get the darn thing to fit, which is the sad part. So because they don't make the speakers for these things hardly anymore, so they do have some that's similar, but they're way oversized and it's a pain to get them in here. So and the only other speaker that's still original is this one, but this one has actually been completely reconed because it was blown when I originally got it. So this one still performs very well for it being reconed, and it's an original. So, but maybe at some point I will actually see if I can get somebody to recone these last two speakers and maybe redo the original one, because I still got the original one for that, but I haven't done anything with it. I still have it sitting here on the bottom of the jukebox. It's blown out, so it sounds like crap. So, but it's kind of almost impossible to replace those things. So, but yeah, that was a review on that. And if you, like I said, if you have a jukebox with a flip cartridge and it has that old cartridge in there, I would definitely recommend this thing. It is just sweet. So, thanks for watching, and we'll hope to see you next time. See ya.